You are listening to the Soul Curators podcast, where we get into the funk and soul of things. It's all about good conversations about music. So come join us.
It's been a long time. We shouldn't have left you without a dope pod to step to. Shout out to Jalen. Shout out to Jalen and Jacoby. We are back. It's the Soul Curators podcast, 3 the Hard Way. We're in the building. It's good to be back amongst family. I am your boy, Mr. Goodbar, here in H-Town, representing the Remedy. I got the rest of my team here. I'm going to allow them to introduce themselves as we get into this December.
Guys?
We'll start with the lady.
What's up, guys? This is Kristen the Curates, and I am in Atlanta by way of Jacksonville, Florida.
Ooh.
I just had to throw that out there since we beat y'all yesterday. I'm Soup's Kitchen, by the way, at Cleveland. Go Browns. Yeah, you know, we here.
Do you even follow the Browns? Like, for real?
Oh yes. If you follow me, you know I follow the Browns because I had a good time when we had Baker Mayfield as a quarterback.
Troll.
We got the number one defense. Are we good over here?
Do you have the number one defense?
Yes.
It's wild.
Go look at the stats. We got to, when it comes to third down, I think it's third down, fourth down, we got the number one defense. I gotta look at the stats though, but I know at this moment in time right now, the Browns defense is number one. So
I briefly looked at my text and Scully, but then I knew better. I was like, no, I'm not gonna jinx this today. Shout out to the Texans though. Y'all keep doing what y'all doing, but y'all could do better. Listen, man, this is a wonderful time to wrap up 2023. We talked about it briefly, I think amongst ourselves and offline. 2023 kicked ass, man, music wise.
And look.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It really did, man. It really did. And we got a lot to recap, to touch on, to close out this year and make sure we set it off right and kind of give our perspectives on how this year was for the three of us individually and collectively and our experiences with this whole music thing. But I know we got to talk about something that is kind of on the top of everybody's heads right now. Do we want to talk about the May the Lord Watch documentary? Want to start off with that? Because we process and sit with it and live with it, and
we got to talk about it because we came together to go see Little Brother. Like us meeting in person was to go see Little Brother. So we got to talk about the documentary. Like the documentary brought everything in perspective for all of us. You know what I mean? So yeah, we definitely got to talk about it. You know.
Now, did y'all do like me? Like, I watched the documentary, and then with the knowledge that we got from the documentary, I went back and replayed a whole lot of Little Brother music, and I could hear a lot of things differently now. Yes. Maybe that was just me. Just me being a man.
Which album did you go back and listen to first? Did you go back and listen to The Listener? Did you go back and the Minstrel Show, or did you go back and listen to Left Back? Or Get Back?
Went out of order. I went Minstrel Show first. Because Minstrel sounded like, from what I heard from the doc, Minstrel Show is where everything was kind of shook up, and that's where it went. It started going left. And then I never did go back to Left Back and Get Back, because those albums were really difficult for me to listen to, because I knew you could tell everybody wasn't getting along. You know what I'm saying?
Now don't Get Back. I went back and listened to Get Back first.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was after the breakup of Knife. You know, Knife is out the group. And they were at their strongest because now we got to make this shit work. So, like, Get Back was like, Pooh and Fate, they strong as hell on that album. And that's probably one of their best albums until May the Lord Watch. If you listen to on how they connected, they connected. Left Back, you knew like, oh, this shit is over with. Like you knew it the minute the first song kicked on, you was like, oh, this is a rap, y'all. Like we ain't gonna get no more Little Brother after this. But then I went and listened to the Minstrel Show, and then I went back and then I did May the Lord Watch. But Get Back was the first one I did after I saw the documentary, because a lot of it had to do with them connecting as a group and finding out they were just business partners when they were making this album. They weren't friends. And then you go back and listen to May the Lord Watch, and now they're a brotherhood, and you can hear the brotherhood in that album. But you can also hear the brotherhood in Get Back, because now they like, we got this nigga that think he better than us. Let's prove this nigga wrong. So you can hear that in Get Back. And so that's how I kind of listen to it. But, I don't know. Maybe, Christina, did you go back and listen to him? Like, did you go back and listen to the albums?
I mean, no, I didn't. I just feel like the documentary was a really good example of, you meet people at a certain age, and when you get to an adulthood, I would say, past 25, 30, into your 40s, you really kind of have to relearn that person. And I think it was cool to see that they talked about how they spent time together and they didn't do any music. They just learned each other. They talked, they communicated, they talked about family, they, would hang out and whatnot. So I think it's cool to see that when you have these people that you have in your life for 20 or 40 years, you really have to get to know the people as they are as adults.
Right.
Yeah.
I think, and I don't know if this is true for you guys, it was, it took me to, it made me revisit Made in Durham again in my mind.
Yeah.
Because there was a lot of passion and a lot of things that they were saying on stage about how they did this themselves and how they put this together themselves. And they were extremely proud of that. And they should be, because it was a great festival. But the context that you have in regards to how they put things together, in spite of everything that has been thrown against them as a duo, it just made me appreciate it a little bit more than I did. And you all know, y'all saw me, I appreciated it at a high level. So I was already there. Like I didn't miss anybody who was not there, and that's, but yeah, I just think it was extremely well done. I championed the vulnerability of everybody that was involved. I did learn a lot about them. I did learn that each and every one of them had their asshole moment. Each and every, and I was just like, I still think Pooh did that shit in Europe. That was some asshole shit. I really do.
Yeah.
That shit was, I'm sorry, that shit was, we didn't tell you to fly out here. Atlantic did. Like that shit, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was some
That was my moment, man.
That was an asshole movement.
He was waiting to get that off. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, each of them.
Did y'all think the him telling Knife Atlantic told you to come out, or you telling your wife to come? Was that what was the moment? Was the moment that Knife was like, "Yo, fuck all this shit"? Was it like, we didn't tell you? You told you said, what I'm saying, about his wife? Was like, was that the moment that it was like, all right, it's over and done with?
Go ahead, Christina, because I think you're gonna say exactly what I was about to say.
I think it was the fact that it came from him. Ninth probably didn't receive it well at all. They probably could have done a better job of communicating that to him. And I know you're going to say your piece, but I also love the whole cartoon effects that they had with some of it. I thought that was pretty cool.
I like that too. That was dope. I thought that was a dope touch. I think Big Doe probably should have went out and said something tonight. I think probably a better thing, but it just, all I really wanted, and if I had to say anything that was disappointing, the only thing I didn't get, all I want is just the video. I want the video footage from their reunion show, the last time they performed together. That's all I want. I don't want nothing else. I will leave them alone if I can just get the video footage of the full show when they got back together right before May the Lord Watch was recorded.
Article.
So did you see it live when they did it?
Mm-hmm.
This is the fun. When they did it, when they announced it, when Fonte, Ninth, and them all put the picture up, right? Mm-hmm. I was walking into the studio to record The Remedy.
Oh,
So I was like, oh shit. So I'm texting and calling everybody I know in NC, like, hey, are you going? Hey, are you there? Can you please videotape this? I need to see this because I got to be on air in a second. By the time I got off air, it was over. Their part of the show was over. So I'm hitting everybody. Did y'all go? Did y'all go? Yeah, we didn't record it. We didn't. So I was sick about that. Shout out to
I saw it through Rhapsody's Live.
Mhm.
So I was watching it, as they were doing it. It was cool, but you could still tell it was iffy. You know what I mean? Like it was like it was cool. I was more so happy to see Pooh and Fonte because I know them is the niggas that's gonna continue Little Brother. Like, they didn't figure it out with Pooh. Because and the other thing about this whole this documentary, I don't think we give Pooh enough credit for his catalog. Pooh has an incredible catalog, and I don't think we give him enough credit for that. Like his catalog is a deep catalog from Sleepers to all the way to to the Fat Boy Fresh, all of them joints that he was doing, and then when he got over to Mellow Music Group, the joint he did with Knots, like when Pooh was talking about Knife not respecting him as a peer, and then you go and listen to his catalog and you see the producers that he worked with, and then just how he put his music together after Little Brother. We got to give him credit. Like Pooh has an incredible catalog. He's also a great manager. Like he's got some great artists under his belt. From Luke. I can't think of the other artists, but I know it's like a couple of other artists. I think it's Shane Gain, Luke. Like, Pooh got. We don't really give him enough credit. We give all the praise to Fonte. It's kind of like the Outkast effect. You know what I mean? Like Andre 3000 get all this credit, and then Big Boy sitting in the background like, oh, that's just the other nigga. No, Big Boy got some shit. You know what I mean? So it's like Pooh is like the same thing, but the documentary gave a soul to what a lot of us already kind of knew, but it kind of, if you went to the Maiden Durham Festival, you kind of, the whole thing just kind of put it all in perspective. Like you got a soul to everything. So that's how I felt.
When it was airing live, I had it on the big screen, but I also had all applause for that. I had it on the big screen, but I was also watching it on my computer, so I could see they had it where you could actually comment and watch it with everybody else. So everybody was watching it as a family. 90% of Maiden Durham was in there, so we were all talking about Maiden Durham.
I missed it.
Shout out to Tamisha Wade. She was in the building. We was chopping it up. Be My Fiasco was in there. Just all talking about, all the things that were going on and the things that we're discovering in the documentary. So I'm so thankful we got a chance to finally see it. You know what I'm saying? Yes, sir.
So with you being one of the original OK players, how did you feel in that segment?
Oh, bro.
Like when that segment came up, like how did you feel?
Just out, boy. I love anytime they talk about OK Player because that was truly an environment of. It's wild because there's so many people who have come out of OK Player that are in culture and doing things in culture, either behind the scenes or in front of the scenes. And I could point to all of them. Like for instance, when we were made in Durham, that photographer I was talking about, Chris Charles, OK Player. Like all these people that I see, you know what I'm saying, and to watch them grow into their art. I remember when they were budding into what they were doing, when they were just doing freelance work and in the basement type shit, and then to see them doing things, and I'm honored to still be able to be part of that and still continue to move forward in what I'm doing, because I wasn't doing any radio before. While I was on OK Player, I did express an interest in doing it, and then now I have an opportunity to do this show and then my show, and it's great to see, and it really is the true original Black social media platform. We really did a lot of connecting there. Fonte knows me from there. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Paid in Full crew, we got together because me and DJ Burb are OK Players, and we've been doing Paid in Full in Houston 22 odd years. So all of these things really kind of grew from OK Player. So it's really, really cool. We still call Questlove Dad, like, to this day. So it's always cool to see that. And hopefully in any part of any story that I tell, I always make sure I include that part as well, because it was a huge form. As a matter of fact, and I'll tell this story often, I got my surname because I just happened to be listening to LL Cool J on random, and Mr. Goodbar was on, and I couldn't think of a username, so I just used that because I didn't know I was going to be on there forever. And when we got to doing things in public and doing and producing content or whatever, I went to OK Player, like, okay, I got to change my name. And Von P of Tanya Morgan messaged me. He was like, "Why? Everybody knows you as that. Why would you change your name?" And it just stuck. So OK Player is a huge part of my story. I was very proud to hear that.
I was saying to you guys, perfect segue when y'all talked about Questlove and LL Cool J, because they were the actual producers or creators of the Grammys hip hop 50-year, whatever you call it, that was on recently. And what you guys think about it?
Yeah, I might have to sit this one out. I ain't watched.
I felt like I was 12 again.
Mm-hmm.
It was crazy to see all of the artists that I have, tapes of and CDs of, and to see them all performing at one space. You rarely get to see, and the cool thing is to get to see them all enjoying each other. My favorite part was when they would pan to the crowd and other artists are rapping other artists' beat songs. That's always my favorite thing.
Yes.
I saw LL rapping Boosie, Wipe Me Down. Like I saw rapping Queen Latifah. Like I just saw that.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yes, I think it was a really good celebration. I like the native tongues part, because especially with them being like as if they were in a library or whatever it was. It was like a whole bunch of books, and it was just perfect. That was the best.
Oops, I'm telling you, if you go back and watch the clips, we'll start with that one.
Yeah.
That was the best set out of the whole show, in my opinion.
So the only thing that I saw was my fault.
No, go ahead.
The only thing I saw was the Will Smith joint. Like I just saw Will and Brand New Funk.
Oh.
Like that's the only thing, because I'm a fan of Will. Like I feel like he's one of the greats that we don't give enough respect to when it comes to MCing. Like he's a great MC, and I don't think we give him enough credit for it. But seeing him on stage, I think he closed it out. Seeing him up there doing a Brand New Funk, and when he got to that one, that part, and he's like 60 some years old, he's still doing his thing. I was like, or 50, I don't know how old Will Smith is, but he old. But you know what I'm saying? Like watching him do that thing, and it's like you were still seeing him as the Fresh Prince, and it was like I thought that was pretty cool. But that's the only part that I saw. That's the only clip I saw. I got my beef with the Grammys. I didn't think this was gonna be like what. Maybe I should have watched it. You know what I'm saying? Like they never really gave us no respect before, and so I was just kind of like, I ain't about to waste my time watching it and be disappointed. Like, so I
mean, the fact that the folks that were there, and they're the ones that were in the trenches back then, and they gave their time and effort to do that, because LL and Questlove kind of had a big heavy foot in it. I think it's enough to say just watch it and just see what you think, and just appreciate the fact that, like you said, Will Smith / Fresh Prince, he didn't you didn't hear his vocals in the background. I mean, he was spitting. I mean, you got to give him some respect.
Let me put it like that to piggyback off your point, Christina. One of the wonderful things was this was a master class of performance, because I am someone who hates to go to shows and hear people rapping over vocals. That is the biggest pet peeve I have. I can't stand it. So to see these artists, the elder statesmen of hip hop, Breath Control, on the mic, getting in, going back and forth, no background vocals, just beat. That to me said a lot. It should have been a lesson for MCs that are coming up, and that for the artists that are out now. It should make it separates you. It makes you look completely different. And I think that was impressed about that. So that's why when Fresh Prince was rapping, when he was doing his part where he was just going and going and going, and he's breath control, and he was just the crowd was losing it, because it's like we're not used to seeing that, because we're used to people rapping over vocals and just saying every other word. And my last point about the way it closed out, I'm a huge fan of Will Smith. I am, but I love the Fresh Prince.
Yes.
It's a completely different thing for me. So I even posted on social media like, yo, I'm about to lose my whole shit when he come out.
I saw you.
That's exactly what I did. I love the Fresh. I'm a fan of Will Smith, but I love the Fresh Prince. So that was, I thought it was dope. And I greatest DJ on the planet. I'm ready to argue that with anybody.
Hands down. And I think that even to see DJ say that is like, come on now, you got to give him his flowers. His Jazzy Jeff is the greatest. But I think to see a few of the new stars come out, I was kind of like, but I mean, there's a place for hip-hop. Yeah, that's a part of hip-hop. So I mean, we probably back in the 90s, the old folks probably cringed at some of the stuff we listened to too. So I have to keep that in mind. But what got me was, this is off topic from the Grammys thing. One of my students was in class listening to Sexxy Red, and I mean, she had it blasting. I was like, trash. I just always mess with them. And so she was like, well, Miss Hickson, I'm sorry, Miss Hickson, she's just like Trina. And I was like, skirt, wait, what? I had to think about it. Oh my God.
I mean, but Trina could rap though.
But Trina could rap better than she could. Come on now. We gonna say Trina is Sexxy Red?
No, I get where these kids is coming from, because back then we had Lil Kim, Foxy. We had Trina. We had the sex appeal was there. You had Eve. You had all these different female MCs, but there was a variety. There was quality. There was still, you know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't flooded. The market wasn't flooded with the same female MC. Because I mean, you still had Queen Latifah. You still had MC Light. You still had Bahamadia. You still had, I mean, it was so many different MC. Jean Grey was out during that time. I mean, you had a lot of different varieties of MCs, women MCs, female MCs, whatever you want to say. But today it's like the majority of what you're seeing is bullshit. You're seeing, girls with fat asses and nasty shit. Yeah, I don't know. Like, that's all you really see. Like, and it's don't get me wrong, because I'm always the one that's saying it's more than just that. But the mainstream is only pushing the Ice Spices, the Sexxy Reds, all of these type of things, and all they got is they body. They can't rap. They're not rapping about nothing. All they rapping about is what they do with their body.
But who was mainstream pushing back then?
Eve, Trina, Kim. You know what I'm saying? Like, Kim was talking about how far she can stick a Sprite bottle. You know what I'm saying? Like, or whatever bottle she was talking about. But she was talking about that. But again, like there was more to it than just that. It wasn't just all, sex. And when you look at Kim's first album, she got a song on there called Drugs. They ain't really talking sex shit. Like, she talking about that. I got the clap hand, boom, like, she talking that shit. I was like, all right, cool. She got more in her bag than just the sexy whatever. But now
I think Trina could rap better than this Sexxy Red girl.
I think,
yeah.
And since I old head, I gotta handle my perspective on this very carefully, because I'm an advocate for growing into your craft. And I think that, like, I'll use Sexxy Red as an example. She has everybody's ear right now. And I think to have, well, you know what I mean, as far as, the youngsters have you.
Yeah.
I think, choose your words wisely, sir.
I think what's important for hip hop as a whole is to embrace that and give her somebody that can walk her through. Okay, now that you got like Fonte said one time, you got these niggas' ears. Now you got to have something to say to them. And
Sick of that shit.
I think she has an opportunity to really get galvanized into what without not being herself, because I'm totally with her being herself, but I think if her quality does need to improve. So I feel like if she could find an elder statesman, and I think that's the part of the divide, because the elders, I see them, the elder statesmen always kind of distance themselves from the youth, and the youth distance themselves from the older statesmen, but the bridge. And now we can give them God. Now the recipes can be handed down properly, because if you got everybody's ear, now you have no excuse, because now you know better. You know,
But
like
does
for instance,
she?
I hate to use this album as an example because I don't enjoy it, but the Blockbuster album Busta put out, I don't like the album, but I enjoy the fact that he's made sure to reach out to younger MCs and work with them. So because he knows how to put the jewels together and educate people. I think if you put people in the space to be educated, it's just like with you, Christina. Like the divide between you and your students is different, but you're there to give them the jewels. It's gonna hit them either, or it's gonna hit them later.
But will she, Sexxy Red or Ice Spice, will they embrace, or will they be open to the, like you said, the bridge? I don't know. I don't think there's something different about there's something different about some of these kids. And some of them will not reach out to their elder states for advice, for, whatever the case may be. I just don't know. Some of them they won't reach out.
But I think as the elder statesman of hip hop, it's the responsibility of people like Yo-Yo or Trina or even MC Light or La, or because people forget that our legends, our hip hop legends, they was ratchet as fuck too. They just knew how to rhyme. They was ratchet as. So I think if elder statesmen that we have, reach out to them and let them know, hey, it's okay to come holler at me if you want to holler at me. I'm not gonna chase you, but if you want to holler at me, I'm here to talk. And you can't be mad at that part of it. And I think that's what needs to be available to say to make sure that.
Wait, Soop, hold on 1 second. I guess my thing is, where can she go? So she has been selling what she's been selling since she's been out, right? Where can she go that people will embrace her and that they'll still like what she's saying? Because they're so used to her saying, I can't even tell you what one of her lyrics say, but
well, I'm not saying that she not be herself. I'm saying if you incorporate skills into it, we can appreciate you being yourself if you're skilled at it. I mean, think about how many MCs that talk about the craziest shit, but they're so skilled, we'll appreciate it. Pusha T been talking about selling coke his whole, but he's so skilled at it, we let it rock. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I'll use Lotto as an example. Lotto be on that too, but Lotto can rap, and Lotto has reached out to elder stateswomen and reached out like, hey, got me here. She's up under Trina's wing. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying, so she know who to go to get the jewels. Right, I think Red has the same opportunity. And since we're talking, and I'm her, but I mean like even people like Gunna or Roddy Ricch, or people who are kind of, we look at a little differently because their skill set isn't where our legends are. If our legends reach out, hey, come holler at me, youngster. Let me, you know what I'm saying? Let me help you because somebody helped me. You know what I mean? That's where I'm at. But I'm gonna let Soups go because I know he got.
In the words of Wallow, fuck all that shit. If the shit is corny, call that shit out. We gotta stop letting. Look, all right, that's cool, but at some point we gotta start building up the others. Like, okay, Sexxy Red might have the ears, but why does she got the ears? Because everybody keep building that shit up. We got other MCs. We got way other better MCs that's actually understanding the craft, that know the history of it. Like, you shouldn't be if you getting in there, you shouldn't be learning the history as you're going. You should already have fundamentals down, knowing the art, knowing the craft, and then going. We got a whole bunch of real MCs that can be filling that spot. But I'm a fan but I think we should be talking more about her instead of Sexxy Red. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that she should have those platforms. I think Rhapsody should have more of a platform. Like, those should be the people that we should be talking about. We shouldn't be talking about no Sexxy Red and Ice Spice when they don't even understand the history of hip hop. They just doing it just to make a check. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not just saying those, just the female. I'm talking about like all the corny ass, like these artists that's coming out just making stupid music just because, oh, I made something viral and I'm getting a check off of it. Like, no, the craft is the craft. Learn the craft, make the actual art, because now you starting to see that these artists that's out here, they're not moving crowds. You can't get nobody to show up to an arena. You can't get nobody to show up to a bar. So, like, your music is not timeless music. So people aren't showing up. You making this shit and it's going viral on TikTok, but nobody's showing up to your concert. Mm-hmm. So I guess to the, like, we got to get to the point where, like, it was a point in hip hop when niggas was getting on stage when shit was corny and knocking niggas off the stage. Like, you know, get that shit out of here. And we never seen these niggas again. Like, what happened to Kwame? Biggie said some corny shit, your polka dot shit and whatever. And we ain't heard from that nigga since. Now he's been behind the scenes. He wasn't. No, but what I'm saying is, at some point in hip hop, if shit was corny, we called the shit out. We didn't embrace this. We didn't. Well, you know, we just gotta embrace the new shit. No, no.
Kwame was just different. I don't think he was well.
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, like, they thought the shit was corny, yeah, and as a whole, people thought what Kwame was doing, the polka that shit, boom, 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 and we ain't heard from that nigga. Like, we didn't hear no more music from him. Now he's right. He wrote for people and he produced and he had a great career after. But what I'm saying is, when hip hop said something was corny, they didn't embrace the shit they thought that they thought was corny, because the masses, like, I don't know. I feel like we getting away from what the culture was. Like, we letting people into this culture that don't need to be into the culture. They don't know the 5 elements of the hip hop. Like, they don't, like, you say, what is the elements of hip hop? At least know 2 of them. At least know MCing and DJing. Like, niggas don't even know what that. You mention elements, they don't even know what elements. Hey, what you talking about? The periodic table? Like, nigga, no. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's elements to hip hop, and it's like, you in this culture and you don't understand it.
But I will say the problem, the evolution problem that I have with hip hop, because I hear what you're saying, so I do. But I also, like I said, I'm with the evolution of it, and I'm also with the fact that some of that stuff is not supposed to be for me. I'm cool with that, because the hip hop that I love ain't never stopped being made, so I'm good.
Right.
But I look at it like the one problem that I do have with the evolution of the new version of hip hop. When was the last time somebody had a group with a DJ?
Nah, ain't no more DJs. Even our favorite group ain't got a real DJ no more.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, last time a group had included a DJ, and I think that's
what's the group? Is that Dreamville? The group of
Earth Gang.
Earth Gang.
The whole crew when they
Spillage Village. Spillage Village.
Yeah, they don't have a DJ.
I don't recall them DJ. They don't highlight a DJ, and I think that was. I think if I'm going to say there's a major departure from the era before, is that the DJ has not been highlighted. There was always in the videos a break where the DJ in the group would have his time where he would. Right. That's why
even during shows, like, the DJ was an important part of the shows, and that's not even happening no more.
So now you just got to do with a mic buttons back there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And and I think, you know, when you have tour DJs, that's cool, but I think I miss having the moment where the DJ was part of the group and he was integral in himself. Like, where are the gangs? Where are the original versions of Little Brother? Where are the Tribe Called Quest? Where are the, you know what I'm saying? The artists have gotten away from incorporating that element. That's one of the major things that I have a problem with. I would love for one of these new young artists to come out and have a DJ with them. And, like, my DJ is cold too, by the way. You know what I'm saying?
Well, so I will say this: a room full of mirrors. That is a group it's a collective with Punch. I think Punch is the head of it, or he's a part of it. But I know Punch from TDE started this whole thing. I know they have a DJ incorporated in that. And, like, they got the elements of the culture in a room full of mirrors, and they pretty dope. So, you know, I think they kind of see what we talking about. Like, they incorporate what we talking about when it comes to that. I think Clear Soul Forces, and then there's another group.
I would like to see the same molds have a DJ. I like the same molds. I know Cyrock has her DJ. She don't really, you know, he's just there, but she has a DJ. I think that's something doing business with, or maybe involved with, or whatever. But I think that's something that I wish that would come back. But I hear what you're saying about the evolution and how it's changed and how we're allowing whack stuff. But I look at it as an opportunity. You got the ear. At least take the time to respect the culture and try to get involved with those who have laid the groundwork and try to feed off of what they've done, so you'll know the blueprint of where you need to go. Because there's no way, and shout out to Grandfather Clock, he said this all night while the show was going on. There's no way that Latifah's Had It Up to Here should still knock as hard as it does. There's no way that Public Enemy should knock as hard. Those classes that they play still knock. They knock harder than anything that's out right now. I'll challenge any
brand new funk. That's still hard.
Like it knocks harder than everything out new. I don't care.
But I agree with the evolution. I think everything should evolve. But at the same time, like, what I think what's happening in hip hop right now is this younger generation is forgetting the history, and they're rewriting the history. They're acting like the shit didn't exist because now they're making money off of it. You know, when hip hop started, it wasn't money involved. It was just it was money involved. Don't get me wrong, like, it was money involved or whatever, but it wasn't like, you know, like it is today. You know what I'm saying? Like, the minute you go viral, you got a bag that go with the viralness. Like, you walking down the aisle, Balenciaga, whatever, however you say that shit, Montclair, all that shit. Like, now you part of the runway fashion shows, and now you got car commercials and shit like that because of hip hop. Like, hip hop is very lucrative. Yes, I get that, but hip hop is 50 years old. You know what I'm saying? Why is it that we can push out the old school and the culture and how everything started and push that to the side? But if you look at these other genres, you know, if you look at rock, and now all these other genres is black music that was stolen from us, taken from us, misused, and things like that. And they don't let that change. They're not letting us come back over there and change that up. But we allow hip hop to change. We allow, you know what I'm saying? Like, we allow us to not respect the legends. You know, the legends ain't going on tours like U2 and fucking Rolling Stones and shit like that. Like, we should be seeing Public Enemy up on stage. Shit, we should be seeing Funky 4+1 or whatever. We should be seeing these niggas on stage, packing arenas like we see these old school joints. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly why. It's the old heads. That's why hip hop is the way it is, because the older artists and the classic artists who've made the classic music that we love, they stopped making music. They stopped. They got shell shocked into the industry and feeling like they didn't have a place, and they just stopped making music. And now the only music they had to play, the music that they played and that they made in the 80s or the 90s. And even if they do make music,
last time Rolling Stones made an album?
Exactly, but that's the point though. They never stopped touring. Our artists stopped touring, stopped making music, and that's what happened. It's our older. I'll say this to Rakim to his face. It's your fault because you stopped rapping. You stopped making, and you stopped being present. So now that hierarchy of MCing that we need, we keep going back to your old stuff, bro. You 60 some odd years old and you can still rhyme. Why are you not rhyming? Why are you not doing that? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, I blame them. I feel like if you're holding that belt to be the standard, then you got to keep rapping. That's why Nas is so perfect right now, because he stopped rapping,
That's facts.
snapped back into it, and kept rapping.
Yep.
Got to keep
And
rapping.
how many albums this year?
Put out like 3 or 4.
5.
Magic. I mean, come
Yeah.
on, like rapping. Big Daddy. There's no reason Big Daddy Kane shouldn't be on some Knife Wonder beats. There's no reason. Slick Rick is a rapper than anybody else rapping right now. I'll challenge anybody on that.
Knife Wonder beats ain't all that, so he could pick somebody else.
Still be more than that. There's no reason that Madlib should not have a Slick Rick album.
Yeah.
Like there's no.
That's facts. That's facts.
You know what I'm saying, and that's my problem with the hip hop. That's why it's like, okay, it's great that y'all doing the 50-year anniversary. It's great. In year 51, I need to see y'all on tour together, all of y'all.
And speaking of, there is one. Somebody posted that today. Queen Latifah, LL, Roots, somebody else, a couple of other people are going to be in tour, but they're going to be in LA 2024. So hopefully that will continue.
And y'all,
I can remember a time when someone did not say anything negative about their Sir Knife, but we're going to keep going.
Look, we have so many things to cover. We are not going to have all the time in the night to do it. It's been amazing catching back up. We got so much stuff we got to cover that we got to come back and do. So look, we gave hip hop too much of our time.
We did.
Hey, we didn't even talk about our favorite moments of 2023.
I think
we got to pick one moment. What's y'all one moment? Y'all one favorite moment of 2023?
Ladies first.
Shit. Come back to me.
Nah. Ladies first.
I can't. Come back, please.
You ain't got no one favorite moment from 2023.
But there's so many. So here's the deal. In terms of music wise.
No. Your favorite moment.
So my favorite moment may not have happened yet because my son graduates Friday. So he graduates from college. So that might not have happened yet, but I will say going to that's what I have to say. No. Going to New York and seeing DJ Cassidy with Dougie Fresh, Big Daddy Kane. I'm sorry. My brain just went. And just actually being in New York and hearing the true New Yorkers, whatever they call themselves, are hype about the hip hop. I think that was probably my top moment.
That's dope.
Oops, go ahead.
No. I respect my elders.
Jesus.
This nigga.
I gotta say, I'm still kind of on a high from Made in Durham. That was for a number, a very special time for me, music wise and personal wise. It really. I came home energized from Made in Durham for a number of different reasons. So yeah, that's at the top of my list. I got some personal ones that I'll share when we do our list next time.
That was a highlight. But my favorite moment of 2023 is the Soul Curators. Like, this started in 2023, and we're ending this in 2023, and this is not ending it as like we're ending the season in 2023. But this is a special moment for me, being surrounded by greatness, from Christina Cure's Good Bar to Al Pete. The fact that Al Pete believed in this, and he's putting a battery behind us, and I appreciate this. This is the big moment for me. This kept me going, throughout my incident, hospital stay and everything. Like, the Soul Curators kept me going, and I truly appreciate, this platform, and, thank y'all.
I think that we should come back. I think we should come back for the end of December to wrap up our other important big moments.
All right. Well, listen, it's been an amazing episode of the Stoke podcast.
We made it.
We run it way past, but look, we're gonna be back real soon to finish up, close out 2023. I am your man, Mr. Goodbar, representing the Remedy here in Houston.
I am Christina Curates, representing myself.
I'm a Soup's Kitchen, and I don't know what's going on, but I'm Soup's Kitchen.
Yo, we out, y'all. Thank you for tuning in to the Soul Curators podcast, powered by the MPN Network. You can check us out on all streaming platforms where podcasts are available.